Albert Einstein comes to mind when we talk about the atomic bomb, but there is actually another significant person who has been recognized as the father of the creation of the nuclear bomb, or atomic bomb. That means Albert Einstein just was the inventor of the explosive equation E=mc². Energy is represented by the letter E, mass by the letter m, and light speed by the letter c. Albert Einstein gave the formula to the United States after learning that the Nazis had found a nuclear bomb and that if they could use it as a weapon, millions of lives would be lost. Thus, Albert Einstein wrote 2 letters to Franklin D. Roosevelt, the U.S. president. He had no idea that his 2 letters had inspired U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt to begin developing an atomic weapon at the time. The Manhattan Project was started as soon as President Roosevelt received the letters, in accordance with his directive. Numerous scientists joined the Manhattan Project, notably chemist J. Robert Oppenheimer, who used the E=mc² formula to create the first atomic bomb ever. Oppenheimer was born in New York on April 22, 1904, to Jewish parents who had fled Nazi Germany. Oppenheimer is a brilliant individual who is able to converse in up to 8 languages, including Sanskrit and Hindi. Oppenheimer excelled in a variety of topics throughout his undergraduate years at Harvard University, including Latin, Greek, physics, chemistry, poetry, and Eastern philosophy. But chemistry is Oppenheimer's preferred topic. Oppenheimer was able to associate with many of the top scientists of his era thanks to his inventiveness, and eventually rose to the position of government official. Oppenheimer was given the responsibility by the U.S. government to oversee a group of scientists working on the Manhattan Project, which was charged with studying and creating weapons of mass devastation during World War II. And Oppenheimer never imagined that the invention he had made would be a tool to alter the course of history and have an impact on geopolitics well into the 21st century. 3 years after the project began, Oppenheimer and his team reached the point of testing their first atomic bomb. The test was conducted on July 16, 1945, in Alamogordo, New Mexico. Oppenheimer claimed in the historical documentary that he was standing there watching the atomic bomb test when he suddenly remembered the phrase, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." Oppenheimer was mistaken. Less than a month after the test, the U.S. dropped 2 of its new atomic bombs on Japan's Hiroshima and Nagasaki, ultimately ending World War II. In a meeting with the president, Oppenheimer admitted that after the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he saw his hands covered in blood and even insulted the President of the United States. Oppenheimer was stunned by the decision and afterwards regretted it. Oppenheimer ultimately made the decision to leave the government and start a campaign against the use of nuclear weapons. J. Robert Oppenheimer wasn't the only one who felt regretted, but also Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein called the 2 letters that he sent to the President of the United States was his greatest mistake. If he would not have done that, the United States also would not have considered developing such a terrible nuclear bomb.